Hey, Saints and Eights. So I posed a question on Instagram the other day about what people wanted from me as far as content. First and foremost, you will not always get a dressed up video. You'll get this puff today, and that's it. But I asked what people wanted to see, and one of the things that someone sent, well, a few people sent, was how to be single God's way and wait until God decides to answer that part of your prayer. First and foremost, being single is not a curse. It's not punishment. It's not because you're not good enough. There's a reason that you're still in your single season. I was single well past what I thought I should be. God did not work on my timeline, and I'm grateful. Being single is actually a blessing. It allows God to like do in and through you what He needs to do in and through you before He gives you a partner. And of course, if you're a Christian, we're dating for marriage. Also, don't rush the process. But my first and foremost question would be, now that I'm on the other side, why do you want it? Why do you want a partner? Why do you want to be married? Because if you want it for the wrong reasons, God is not going to be quick to give it to you because He know you can't handle what you're asking for. Do you want it because everyone else around you is in a relationship? Do you want a spouse because you think marriage is going to fix the broken pieces of your past life, your adolescence? Do you want to be married so that you can have sex? Let's be honest. Auntie is an honest auntie. What is your reasoning? Because if you think that you can handle marriage because it's a cute hashtag or you'll have a partner to take matching pajama pictures with on Christmas, it's so much more than that. A marriage, especially a covenant marriage, is a mirror. It is going to amplify everything in you times a million. My husband, during our dating and courting, and even especially when we got married, he reflected things in me that I did not necessarily know that were still there. But thank God that God had taken me through my single season and I yielded to my single season to allow the Lord to do the work that made it so much easier to transition into marriage. What I mean by that is, if you are still struggling from daddy mommy wounds, your husband is not going to fix that. Your wife is not going to fix that. You have to deal with that on your own, because once you get into marriage, that part is going to be amplified. If you're mean and you have a problem with communication, guess what? That's going to be amplified in your marriage. So if you want a marriage, please know that yes, it is beautiful, but it is a lot of work, and it will not fix the things that you have not taken the time to fix. It only amplifies the issues that need to be fixed. What else? Being single is lit. Like, I had finally gotten to the point where I took my hands off of trying to like finagle a relationship and finally yielded it to the Lord. But during the time of being single and I just kind of yielded and submitted it to the Lord, I was traveling, I was hanging out with my girlfriends. Was I always perfect? Absolutely not. But one thing I will say is that during my last time of singleness, I was like, I'm no longer having sex outside of marriage. Like, I've tried to do it my way. It is not working. It is not worth it. I'm taking it off the table and I'm committing to the Lord that space, in addition to other spaces, but that one specifically. I learned how to date myself. I paid off debt. I got my credit together. I was really living the single girl life. And I was so locked in with the Lord that when my husband finally decided to show up at his destination, I was not necessarily interested. I was like, bro, you are ruining the program. I am like really outside having a great time. What do you mean you want to be my boyfriend? First of all, I'm too old to have a boyfriend. Like, grow up. No. And I was really just so content in being single finally, because at the time when I wanted to be married, I wanted it because everyone around me was getting booed up. They was finding booze in Lowe's and in Home Depot. And I was like, I'm older than a lot of the people that I was around. So surely that was a prerequisite to get me a husband faster. God said not so. And I'm grateful that He did make me wait, because the version of the woman that my husband got as a girlfriend, as a fiance, as a wife is so much different than the woman he would have got if the Lord would have sped him up on his journey to get me in 2020 when I wanted one. So first, ask yourself, why do I want a partner? Secondly, have I done or at least begun to do my own work before I decide to go into covenant with someone else? Number three, have I at least attempted to address the things that I keep sweeping under the rug? Have I paid off some debt? Do I have a debit card? Do I know how to make my own appointments? Do I know how to go get my oil changed? Like, some of the things that you're wanting a spouse or a significant other for, do you know how to do them yourself? Have you taken yourself out on dates? Are you comfortable with your own silence and self? So let's start there. Being single is not a curse. It's not punishment. But it is time for you to get yourself together before the Lord adds an additional weight that you may actually be crushed under, and the Lord does not want that for you, and neither do I. So that's the first of the first. We can continue to have these conversations, and we'll see how this goes. So until then, have a great day. And that's it. That's all.